Hello, everyone, and welcome back to It All Starts With a Wish podcast. My name is Rachel.
And I'm Mark.
We had a pretty busy day today.
We did have a pretty busy day today.
Yeah,
We went
pretty busy
to
weekend.
a first birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
Your cousin's. What would the technical relationship be? Because your cousin is technically not your first cousin.
No.
But it would be like a second cousin, like once removed.
So
or
what
first
is our
cousin.
son and her son?
Gosh, we need like the flow chart of like the family tree. Anyways, your cousin's son had his first birthday.
He did.
So, happy birthday to you. We won't say any names, but we
And
know
we
that your
won't
cousin
sing.
is a regular listener of the show. So, happy birthday.
And we won't sing, because Mark usually likes to sing a lot. We won't sing this time.
Fine.
But yeah, we
Don't
had
let
to
me
chase
sing.
around our toddler, who was in rare form today.
He's always in rare form.
I don't know.
But he may have been in rare form because last night, man oh man, my Boston Bruins, they came through. I'm
They
still
did.
a little angry with them. Should have never got to a Game 7 in the series with Toronto. And I don't think we have many Canadian listeners, so I'm going to say it. I shouldn't say nothing. Very few things in life bring me more joy than watching Toronto Maple Leafs fans wallow
Get
in
sad.
self-pity. Oh my gosh, it just it just gets me so excited. It's
That's
just
so
it's
bad.
great. No, they're annoying. Toronto Maple Leafs fans are annoying.
How long has this rivalry been a thing?
And so
Has it
when-
always been a thing?
It's been a thing for a long time, and
Between
the Bruins
Canada
just
and Boston?
have their number, man. The Bruins, just every playoff series for the recent future have just constantly and consistently
Put them down.
beat them.
Yeah.
And it's so nice. Not as nice as the Montreal Canadiens, but they didn't even make the playoffs. So, anyways,
All right.
Bruins
Well,
will probably lose in the next round to Florida.
they don't
but-
get your hopes up.
Hey, they did the important thing. They beat the Toronto Maple Leafs. And at the end of the day, the Maple Leafs not making out of the first round, that's really all that matters.
All right. Enough hockey. More Disney.
Well, Disney is in Florida, and they'll be playing the Florida Panthers. So,
So we should go to a game
no.
and go to Disney.
No. But on a day when you decide not to go to the parks, Homestead, Florida is about a 2.5 hour drive from Walt Disney World, maybe
Yeah.
3 hour drive. So you could decide on a Disney day, if you were down there during the hockey season, to go and watch
You
a
could.
Florida Panthers game.
You definitely
or
could.
a little bit closer, about an hour away, would be the Tampa Bay Lightning. So you
Yeah.
could go watch a hockey game while you're there.
You could.
Or if you like that game that they play with hoops and basketballs, you could go watch Orlando Magic, which...
You could. You could do that too. There's a few things you can do.
Yeah. But chances are you're not going to leave Walt Disney World. And I don't suggest leaving the bubble of Walt Disney World.
No, once you're in the bubble, you're in the bubble,
Right.
I don't think I'd want to schedule an activity outside of the bubble.
No.
So, staying within the bubble, let's talk about some of the things you can do on your non-park resort day.
Sure. With kids.
With
especially.
kids.
Because I think,
You can do a lot by yourself.
This is very easy answer if it's just adults.
Yeah.
Just get sloshed by the pool all day.
Oh, Mark. It's still Disney.
It is still Disney, but that doesn't mean that
It
people
could be
can't,
family friendly.
Yeah, sure. Nobody said it wasn't family friendly.
No, but you're having Mai Tais by the pool all day.
Right. If you
You're
don't have
just
kids,
chilling.
you can just sit by the pool and chill and drink Mai Tais all day and have a great day.
Good. Or
But
you
with
can do other
kids,
things.
you can still have Mai Tais, but it becomes a little more difficult to do that and
It is. It is a little more difficult.
make sure the kids
And
don't
you have to
get
keep
hurt.
kids and maybe older kids entertained a little bit so they're not saying, I'm bored. So, for those of you who go for a little longer than, I would say, a week,
Maybe a week.
or
I
even
think
4 days. I feel like people usually do a park a day if they're not park hopping. So it's 4 days. So if you're around a week, we always recommend rest days in between because that's a lot.
Yeah.
going every single day.
If you're going for a 7-day trip, right around day 4 is a good day to just take a day
like your
off.
halfway mark.
And not go to the parks, just kind of take a relaxing day. If you go for longer trips, like we tend to, usually week and a half or so, you do want a few days in there, either the whole day or parts of days that are resort days, rest days, not going to the parks actively and just kind of taking it
And
easy.
there are so many things to do that are not actually park. You don't need a ticket to go to it. But we're just going to focus on what it is at your resorts.
Yeah.
Or no?
Things at your resort and maybe other resorts and like other places that you can go that aren't going to cost you. That aren't going to cost you a lot of money.
Like,
maybe
resorts
additional.
Are one thing, but
yeah, there may be additional fees.
There's stuff that's not in the
But there's
park
also stuff that's free
yeah.
and things. So we're going to kind of talk a little bit about those kind of things today.
Yeah. So just anything not in the park.
How to keep the kids occupied, how to keep the family happy, how to still have fun even though you're not going to the Magic
Disney
Kingdom.
Feel.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, what's one on your list?
So I think the most obvious one to say first is the pool at your resort hotel. Every resort hotel at Walt Disney World has some sort of pool or pools. It's just nice depending on where you're staying. Always keep in mind that, the more expensive the pool, the nicer the more expensive the hotel, the nicer the pool's going to be.
Or bigger, or yeah.
And so some of these hotels, right, are going to be a little bit easier to spend a whole day at the pool or doing things around the pool than at others. If you're staying at the All-Star Resorts, nothing against the All-Star Resorts and the pools at those hotels, but
it's
to try to spend a whole day at the pool at the All-Star Music is kind of...
Yeah, I mean, those pools, think of your typical hotel pool a little bigger. And maybe like a little kid splash pad area, if they even have that.
Yeah, so at Art of Animation and Pop Century, you kind of have those splash pads areas, but not really at the All-Stars.
All-Stars, not really. So it's just kind of your standard pool, nothing really fancy about them as far as like, water gun things or...
Yeah,
it's going to be of that
tough.
Extra stuff.
It's going to be tough to spend a whole day with kids.
Yeah.
Unless they really, really, really love the pool and just want to swim all day at a value resort hotel pool.
Yeah.
Whereas as you move up in grade, in price to moderate and deluxe resorts, you're going to have water slides in those pools. Obviously,
nothing elaborate. It's usually just one that goes down and takes a few turns and... Nothing water park-esque, but it's still something else.
And there's splash pads, and there's water slides, and there's more stuff to do at the actual pool in moderate and deluxe resorts than you see at the value resorts.
All of the resorts, too, do have cast members that come out and play games. So that is something to keep in mind. Even at the value ones, they'll do things like little volleyball games or music games and like things like that, little trivia things. So... all of the resorts have that. Yeah,
and I don't know what those cast members' title is. I call them the fun people. They come out.
The fun people.
Yeah, the fun people. They come out and they do games with the kids and they do karaoke and music and guess the song or guess the movie kind of things, trivia. So,
do you remember when we were at Animal Kingdom? They were actually having some of the kids come out of the thing and go to one of the colors. Yeah. And they had to move around. So there are games that they play.
Yeah, and those are free things that are happening at the pools.
Yeah.
So those help to kill more time. But again, at a deluxe resort like the Beach Club, the Yacht and Beach Club, or even a hotel the Boardwalk or
Riviera.
The Polynesian or the Riviera, there's more stuff to do in and around the pools. And obviously the Beach Club and the Yacht Club is the shining example of this. If you're taking a very relaxed trip and you really want to spend a lot of time at the pool, there is no surpassing that pool. Right? You can literally spend a whole day in that pool and have a lot of fun.
Multiple days
in
that pool.
A lazy river. There's multiple water slides. There's a whole kids slide area. There's a whirlpool area.
Multiple hot tubs. A whole sand pit mound area island thing.
Cabanas can be rented, and this is another thing that I think is cool to keep in mind, especially at deluxe resorts is usually where you can do this. They will have cabana areas. You see this at a lot of resorts, especially like beach resorts and stuff like that. But you can rent a cabana for the day. So if you know that you're really going to sit by the pool all day and not do anything else, and you want to spend the extra, the extra money, maybe like an extra $100 or whatever, to rent a cabana for the day, and know that you have the pool bar right there, you have plenty of access to everything, you're right by it.
Yeah, and it's very typical of a beach resort. It's, there's cast members coming around taking drink orders, taking food orders. You don't always have to go back in and out of like food court areas and like that kind of stuff, or go up to like Hurricane Hannah. So like there is plenty of service, and you definitely can make a whole day of it. So
yeah, and renting that cabana just assures that you have a place to go back to. It's a shaded place. You're not going to lose your seat. You don't have to worry about like leaving your stuff unattended.
Yep.
People moving it, right? You have a cabana that you rented that is solely for you and your family. I think
they're like really bougie, and they even have like TVs in them.
Some of them do, yeah.
That's kind of crazy. Don't watch TV while you're there. Go in the pool and play.
Well, if you really want to. You can do what you want while you're there.
I guess so.
But the pool and the associated activities with the fun cast members and things like that is a good way to spend a day not in the park, or a portion of the day not in the park.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's the most like self-evident one, so get that one out of the way first, because that kind of is obvious for most people.
Do you want to hear what my favorite thing to do is on a non-park day?
Would love to.
Is explore either the resort that I'm in, or if I know that one pretty well, go to other resorts. And we like to call that resort hopping instead of park hopping.
So a lot of people, we've talked about this before, right, on the podcast. But if this is your first episode or one of your first episodes, and we haven't talked about this in a while, resort hopping is totally free. You can visit the other resorts on Walt Disney World property. You do not have to be staying at that resort to visit it.
Granted, there are parking things, so if you do have a car and you are driving them into things, they do have a parking fee if you are not staying at that resort and do not have a reservation at that resort to be there. But there's so many. Could
be a dining reservation that's important to keep in mind. Doesn't have to be an actual hotel reservation.
I should have said dining reservation at that resort. But there's
if you don't have a dining reservation, though, sometimes they won't let you park there. So you have to be careful with certain resorts with that.
It's not even just pay.
But if you use Disney transportation, it doesn't matter. You can just take the bus from a park or
transportation options. So it's so easy, and it's really fun to take all those different transportations without feeling rushed or like you have to get to a certain place on time or you're going to miss this or miss that. And I have to say, for the value resorts, when we stayed at Pop Century, I think one of the most fun things we did was go around to each of the buildings, and they have like little games and interactive things you can play. Like there was like a checkers thing. There's like obviously all the big statues and stuff. So take advantage of that. The resorts are pretty big, and there's stuff that you can find and do, especially in those value resorts, that are fun.
Yeah, and and again, there's nothing that precludes you from visiting any of the resorts.
Yeah.
So taking Disney transportation around for the day.
Oh, we weren't even at Pop Century that trip. We stayed at Art of Animation, and then we walked over to Pop Century.
Sure, but that idea of just take the transportation around and explore and look at different hotels. You don't have to be staying at the Polynesian to visit and to eat at the restaurants there, or to just walk around and do some of the activities that they may have going on. Those fun cast members are not just solely at the pools. They do other things. There's free activities at mostly all of the hotels throughout the course of the day. Tie-dyeing.
Yeah, tie-dyeing t-shirts,
is kind of the one that always is like
they have like beads and stuff. Like at Animal Kingdom, they obviously have all the animals, but they also have like little booths where you can learn about like African culture and the games that they have over there, and they have like little scavenger hunts, and so it's all themed to those resorts too, which go to other resorts. They're fun.
Definitely. And then every resort usually does, if not every night, every few nights, an outdoor movie on blow-up screens. They blow up a big screen and they show a different Disney movie throughout the course of the week, and that all that stuff, whether you're staying at that hotel or not, is all free.
Yep.
So why not take advantage of it? It's
Free
there.
food.
I also will say that resort hopping can be especially fun at different seasons of the year. So if you're going at Christmas time, taking a day to just go around to all the different resort hotels and look at the Christmas decorations is a great time. We did this on one of our...
Especially if you're like a big especially if you're a big Christmas tree fan and you just really love the decorations.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
They are. And if you're going at a time of year like Easter, they usually have chocolate eggs in all the hotels, which are really awesome. We've done that a few times, going around to places like the Grand Floridian and the Yacht and the Beach Club resorts and seeing the chocolate eggs that have been made by the pastry chefs in those places. So there's a lot to do at the resorts themselves, and almost all of that stuff is free. Just keep in mind, when you're resort hopping, you usually cannot use the pool if you're not staying there. So the one asterisk to all of this is resort hopping, you usually cannot use the pool unless you're staying at that hotel, but can use all of the other amenities, all the other activities, can go to all the restaurants. So take advantage of that on an off day.
Yeah. All the resorts usually have some kind of main room or game room or things like that where they have board games, they have movies. The Florida weather can be kind of crazy. Sometimes you don't expect to have a resort day, and you do because of thunderstorms or any of that kind of stuff. So there are inside things to do as well that you are free to you. You can bring movies back. You can bring games back. Just please remember to return them back to that area. But that's a really fun, like, common area thing. You know, like, they have table tennis outside. They have that kind of stuff. So lots of things in the resorts.
There are. Things that may cost you money, but things that you can still do at the resorts. A few of the resorts, especially the ones that are around bodies of water, a really fun thing that you can do. The Contemporary and the Polynesian and the Grand Floridian stick out for me with this is rent a pontoon boat.
Yeah.
You literally can go down to the docks and rent a pontoon boat that you can cruise around the Seven Seas Lagoon.
You just need a driver's license.
And Bay Lake.
Right?
And you just have to have your driver's license. You don't have to have a boating license. You just go out there. And you and your family can cruise around the Seven Seas Lagoon and Bay Lake.
Bring some food with you.
And have a good time. Like, who doesn't like being on a boat?
This is true.
I'm on a boat.
We can't sing that song. It's inappropriate.
I got my swim trunks and my flippy floppies. Who doesn't like to be on a boat? That's all I'm going to say.
I know.
So you, your family, can rent a boat and just go out for a little boat ride.
You could.
Just don't go for a swim while you're on your boat ride.
No.
Gators. Not good.
No swimming. Just a boat ride.
Just riding on the boat.
Another asterisk.
Yeah.
Please
and
do
if
not swim
you
in the water.
don't want to rent a boat and you don't want to do that, you can use the Disney forms of transportation that are boats and let a Disney cast member drive you around.
Yeah.
You can also rent a boat with a cast member for different things where the cast member drives you around. So there's options with boats.
Yeah. There's also one, which you might be bringing up next, where it is not a cast member per se, but you can actually do a little fishing trip.
The fishing excursions.
Yeah.
It was the next thing
How
I
many
was
have
going to
you
bring
done?
up.
2?
We've done 2.
2 of them.
My father, my brother, and I did one at that was out of the Contemporary Resort into Seven Seas Lagoon in Bay Lake, and then we did one out of the Yacht Club in Crescent Lake. So these excursions, usually they're a few hours long, but you're going to go out with a Disney cast member who's a fishing expert. They're going to take you to the best spots, and you literally just get to fish. So if your family likes the fish or is not familiar, even if you like the fish, or if you're not a fisher but you want to try it's a great opportunity for that.
You don't have to be like good at fishing.
No, they'll help you to cast. They'll bait the hooks for you. They'll pull the fish off the hooks for you. If you are a fishing pro, like, you can do that yourself. Like, they don't make you not do it.
Yeah.
But if you're not familiar with how to do it, or you want to learn, or whatever, you can. They just do it all for you.
Yeah.
And they take you to the best spots. And let me tell you, we had Captain Bill for our second excursion, and Captain Bill, man, I don't know if he's still working there, but he was awesome. He was a fantastic, funny dude. He took us to the best spot, and we just sat there.
And you just kept catching, right? It was like fish after fish.
We literally sat by the dance hall on the boardwalk, and we just kept catching fish.
And they were pretty big, right?
Yeah, we caught a few largemouth bass, which were big guys. The largemouth bass that we caught, some of the biggest largemouth bass that I've ever seen or caught before. So it's a great time. Also at other resorts, I believe this is the case at Saratoga and maybe at Fort Wilderness, you can just rent fishing poles, and they have a fishing hole where from the land you can fish off of the land. So you don't have to be on a boat, but you can just fish yourself off the land.
That's really fun for, like, Fort Wilderness, since, like, a lot of it is, like, camping, and they have the campground, so they do have those kind of activities for you.
Definitely.
Like a campground.
Yep. And again, you don't have to be staying there to do that at any of these hotels. The first time it was nice when we did the one at the Yacht and Beach Club, because we were staying there, so we just had to walk out of our hotel. They usually do these early in the morning. But we did one out of the Contemporary once, and we weren't staying there. So you just got to get yourself there in time for the start of it. But once you're there, it is an additional fee.
Yes.
And it's not cheap, but it could be a really fun activity, especially for certain members of the family if they like to fish.
Yeah. And I have to say, I mean, Mark, you're not a huge fisher.
No.
But his dad and brother are. And it is, even for Mark, still something he talks about to this day.
It's pretty awesome how many people can say that
they went fishing in Disney.
Right.
Yeah.
You could look at the castle while they were fishing. Like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something worth doing, especially if you have members of your family that enjoy that kind of thing. While we're on the topic of Fort Wilderness, there is a lot of stuff to do at the campground, including horseback riding, just visiting with some of the animals, the horses. You can visit the farm, stables.
The stables, yeah.
So don't underestimate that. You can literally go horseback riding in Walt Disney World. So if that's something that, you have a kid who always wanted to ride a horse, or you just like to ride horses and you want to just go for a horseback ride. Who wouldn't
want to do that?
That is an option at Fort Wilderness. So again, something else that's an additional fee, but something that anyone can just go there and do.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things to do at Fort Wilderness, the Hoop-de-Doo Review.
Hoop-de-Doo Review. Additional fee. It is a dinner show, but it is an amazing show. And anybody can go there, just like any other dining reservation. And it is very well worth it. And we should do a show review on that, because that one was really good.
Yeah. We should go there again on our next trip. It's been a few trips since we've been there.
No, it has been a few. It has been a few. I would like to go again.
Very talented cast members in that performance. The food's usually very good, including the strawberry shortcake at the end. Oh my god.
The dessert. Oh. Yeah, and we had great seats for that. I mean, there's really not a bad seat in the whole place for that. And while we're on the subject of camping, I thought of this too, is not just Fort Wilderness with campgrounds have little campfires and marshmallows at the resorts.
Yes.
A lot of the other resorts have that as well. So there is like a little grill or fire pit area that cast member will come out. They'll make the fire. They'll have all the s'more stuff there. You don't have to buy any of it. And you can roast some marshmallows.
I think they make you buy the kits now.
Oh. Well. You get your own kit.
You just buy the kit and then you make
just
your
buy
own
the kit and then you mark them.
But...
So, I mean, come on. Marshmallows in Disney. That's on my bucket list. Because now we have a kid. So now I feel like I can be like, look, they want to roast marshmallows. Even though it was just me.
Yes, you really want to roast the
It was really me,
they
but it's fine. I can blame it on my kids.
But yeah, it's very so they usually do that right before they do the movies at all of the locations. So you can do it at pretty much any of the hotels. Also, at the campground, while I'm thinking of it, and seasonal things, people like to rent a golf cart and drive around. People who have their campers there will go all out with decorating for the different seasons, and they'll do fun things around the 4th of July, the Christmas decorations, Halloween decorations. So people do enjoy.
They usually have little parades too.
They do.
With their golf carts. They'll decorate their golf carts and drive around in them. So that's really fun to do too. But yeah. The other thing that I can think of moving off of resorts is mini golf. They do have mini golf in Walt Disney World.
2 mini golf courses, yeah.
2 of them. And regular golf. But this is with kids. So maybe we're not regular golfing, like an 18-hole golf course. But there are 2. One of them is definitely Santa's Vacation. It's like Santa. What's the other one?
Fantasia.
Oh, yeah. How could I forget?
So the one over by Blizzard Beach is a winter theme along with the Blizzard Beach kind of thing, like a Christmas kind of theme.
Christmas melting or something like that.
And then the one over by the Swan and Dolphin Resort in that area is Fantasia Gardens. Worth noting that one has 2 different 18-hole golf courses. One that's kind of more of like a funny, like, you know, different things kind of pop out and stuff like that. The other one that's kind of more of like one of the more competitive mini golf courses where there's not so much like stuff
around,
but more just like the course itself is kind of challenging. So that, I didn't even think of that. That's a great one. Again, it's an additional fee for folks.
Right.
But people love going mini golfing on vacation.
And kids love mini golf. I think it's a great thing for kids.
Can I just for a moment, I don't understand it.
Understand what?
Why is that such a thing for people on vacation to go mini golfing?
I don't know. When we went to Tennessee, man, there was a lot of mini golf places and they were all packed.
They were.
And people go like, oh, we're going on vacation, we went mini golfing. It's like,
but why?
You can go mini golfing anytime.
Why is that such a thing when people go on vacation, they're like, we must mini golf?
I don't know.
Like, I want to know what the origin of that is. Like, why?
Maybe they don't have mini golf in their area.
No, they must. We do it. I'm guilty of it too. I'm not saying that it's other people.
I think it's because
also
it's
guilty of it.
You want to know why? I
really do.
You do want to know why? I think it's because it is an activity that most everybody can do. Able bodies, like everybody, no matter the age, can do it, and it's fun enough, and it's usually cheap enough. That's what I think.
Maybe. I just don't understand it. But if you are someone who wants to go,
family activity.
Whole, because there's a whole.
Oh my. Mark.
Listen. Nobody ever said the jokes on this podcast were going to be good.
They're not.
That's all I'm saying.
That was a dad joke.
Yeah, I have a whole book of dad jokes right
here.
You
do, right next to you. Was it in there?
No, but just for the heck of it.
Good ASMR for some book.
Let's see.
Here's a dad joke for you.
A bear walks into a restaurant and says, I'd like a grilled cheese. What's with the big paws? The bartender asked. I'm a bear.
What?
The big paws.
Oh.
He paused in between grilled and cheese. That's with the big paws. I'm a bear because he has big paws. Oh my god.
Wow.
Okay.
I didn't get that ever.
Whatever. Anyways.
I thought, I was like, oh, like pause, and then I didn't actually laugh at it. It was so good I didn't laugh.
Mini golf's a good option for people. Whatever.
I think so.
Over by the mini golfing of at Blizzard Beach, not of Blizzard Beach, but at Blizzard Beach, not too far away is Disney Springs.
True.
And Disney Springs on a non-park day is a good place to just walk around and explore. Think of an outdoor mall area.
Yeah.
People will go on vacation and go visit malls all the time and just walk around and kind of window shop, and tons of great restaurants. Live entertainment, don't sleep on the live entertainment that oftentimes is free, like street performers that are at Disney Springs.
or they're playing at some of the restaurants or any of that stuff. They do have House of Blues, which is usually an extra cost for those types of shows. And they have Cirque du Soleil, which is another added cost. But they have a movie theater. They have all kinds of specialty shops. Some that you can just get there, like the big Disney store, Wide World of Disney. They have that car boat thing.
The amphicars.
There you go. I can never say it right, so...
They're amphibious cars.
Vehicles. They have that big hot air balloon. All of these are at little additional cost, so they're not going to be like super, super, super expensive, but they are going to cost you extra money to do. But there's so much to do. If you enjoy just being with your family and walking around and doing those like types of things, there's much to do. And I don't think...
And it's free.
It's free.
Keep that in mind. Visiting
Unless
Disney
you buy
Springs until you pay for food or until you buy stuff.
Souvenir.
There is no charge to get in. It's not like the parks, so it's totally free to get into. So it is a nice thing to do to kill some time, especially at night. Like if you spend the whole day at the pool or something like that, and then you're looking to go have a nice meal.
Yeah,
you
they
kind
have
of just walk around.
They have bowling.
There's a movie theater.
I already said that.
Did you?
I did.
Example of the co-host not listening.
Thanks for listening, Mark. But there is literally almost everything you can think of over there. So yeah, if I had to like picture my perfect day, with kids, I would probably pick a pool day, head around the resorts and maybe go to a different resort. Go to Disney Springs at night. But then I might head back to like a different resort, like maybe the Polynesian, and watch the fireworks. You don't have to be in the park to see the fireworks.
That's correct.
Another really big hint. So at the end of the night, you do not have to be in Epcot or Magic Kingdom to see the fireworks. And one of our best memories that we talked about much earlier in our podcast on our trip review was being in the beach club pool and watching the fireworks and watching our son be like, whoa, even though we weren't there. And that might be better for you too if you have, little ones. It's very loud, it's very crowded, or maybe we just don't like to be really up close to the fireworks. So that was something not in the park, and that was like one of my favorite memories of all of us in the pool watching the fireworks. I thought it was like so magical, and it was so fun. So there.
Another good thing to do on your non-resort, on your non-park day, is to watch fireworks not in the park, but at one of the resort hotels, for sure.
For sure.
So those are just some ideas of things that you can do on non-park days with kids.
And if we miss anything, let us know.
Engaged and interested. But there's a ton of stuff. And just in the hotels, I really do encourage folks to check in at the front desk. There's usually somewhere posted across the hotel all of the different free activities and things that are happening at the resort throughout the day. Use that to your advantage on a non-park day. You take this as an opportunity both for people to rest, refuel, but also know that you and your kids are not going to be bored. There's plenty of stuff that you can do on a non-park day to keep everybody engaged, interested, and let people recharge for the rest of the trip. And still make great memories.
Always making memories.
Always.
Always.
Remember, if you want to make a great memory with your family by going on a Disney trip, reach out to Rachel at armella@mickeytravels.com.
Yep.
Well, folks, I want to encourage you, as always, to make sure that you're following us on our social media accounts. I know we've been kind of negligent with our social media accounts lately. We'll be better with posting stuff to those. So definitely follow us on the social media accounts. Share this podcast with people who you think might be interested. We're doing pretty good with listenership and people who are subscribing and following and all that stuff. We're happy that you're all with us. But we'd like to continue to build the community, you know. It makes us feel pretty cool to know that, people are listening and engaging. And so feel free to reach out to us.
We're not just talking to ourselves.
We are.
Well, But someone's listening.
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
Who you are, we
At
don't
some
really
time.
know. But
And that's really cool.
yeah, it is cool. It'd be nice to hear from these people
It
though,
would be.
who are actually listening.
It would be.
So if you have questions, comments, concerns, you just want to say hi and let us know that you are one of those listeners, send us an email at startswithawish.podcast@gmail.com, or send us a message through our social media accounts, our Instagram, Facebook page. That's it?
That's it.
Okay, I got both of them. Instagram and Facebook.
You got him.
Anywho's, we appreciate all of you listening, though. And we genuinely do mean that. So thank you for listening, and feel free to share this with anybody who you think might be interested in learning more about Disney and joining our little community that we've formed here.
Yeah.
Well, folks, with that, I want you to remember that a spoonful of sugar helps to make the medicine go down. No, I'm joking. I want you to remember that it all starts with a wish, and we'll see you real soon.
Dad jokes. Bye.